obviously this is one that most people have grown up with their parents using this to cook in the house. Well, I can definitely speak for myself and say that most dishes that I learned how to cook growing up was actually, Dunn's River. The other one I think is called Tropical Island. And although it does taste very flavorful, it's not really that healthy, which I'll get into in a minute. This is actually a lot more tastier than this one. And if we look at the back, we look at the ingredients. Okay, so it says onion granules, basil, garlic, black pepper, paprika, Celtic sea salt, oregano, thyme, chili pepper. Yeah, so if we look at the back of this one now. So we have salt, paprika, coriander, flavor. Okay, flavor enhancer. E621. Now, anything of a code, do you feel like that is real? Do you feel like that's authentic? I mean, apples don't have a code. It's not Apple 6239, So we do have to think. Okay, guys, so let me give you the tea. Let me give you some real scary facts. E621, otherwise known as MSG or monosodium glutamate, is known to cause problems for some people, and certain people seem to be more sensitive to its effects than others. E621 is a brain and nervous system toxin that masquerades under many different guises and is found in a number of common foods. When MSG, aka E621, enters the brain, not only does it kill brain cells, it wreaks havoc on brain functions. There's a long list of side effects, so I'll leave it there for you to screenshot it, pause it if you need to. What if MSG causes no noticeable or even immediate reaction in you? Should you still consider MSG a dangerous food additive? Yes, that's because the effects of MSG are cumulative. Just because you don't react to MSG now doesn't mean that you won't later. According to Dr. Russell Baylock, sensitivity to MSG builds up in our bodies until we reach what we call our threshold of sensitivity. That's because MSG overstimulates our nervous system, exciting our nerves and causing an inflammatory response. With time, these repetitive inflammatory responses cause our nerves to start producing more and more nerve cells that are sensitive to this kind of stimulation. The more overly sensitive nerve cells we have, the stronger our immediate response to MSG will be. Way back in 1957, a team of researchers decided to see if glutamate could help repair a diseased retina. Remember, glutamate is a common and necessary amino acid in our diet, arguably the most common neurotransmitter in the brain. So this presupposition isn't so far-fetched. The researchers fed the rats MSG and were shocked by the results. Rather than repairing the disease, the MSG destroyed the retinal cells that allowed vision. A decade later, the neuroscientist Dr. John Olney used their method of destroying retinal cells so that he could study the visual pathways to the brain. He found that MSG not only destroyed retinal vision cells, but also parts of the brain. This brain damage was done as neurons became overexcited, virtually exciting themselves to death. He called this excitotoxicity, and that has led subsequent researchers to describe MSG as an excitotoxin. While the naturally occurring glutamates in food aren't dangerous, processed free glutamic acids like MSG are. Not only do they cause brain damage and lead to serious nerve disorders, but they also cause radical hormone fluctuations. Mice injected with MSG become rapidly obese, inactive, and have other hormonal issues. Humans are 20 times more sensitive to MSG than monkeys, 5 times more sensitive than rats. We have glutamate receptors on every major organ, hardwired into our brains, and even on the tip of our tongue. That means that 1/5 of the level of MSG used to cause obvious brain damage to a rat will do the same to you.
And what about growing babies? It turns out that MSG is especially harmful to pregnant or nursing mothers because infants and young children are 4 times more sensitive to MSG than adults. Many studies have shown that glutamate plays a major role in how the brain is formed during development. There is a programmed rise and fall in brain glutamate levels during brain formation, which occurs in humans not only during intrauterine life, but until the age of 27. This oscillation in brain glutamine is very critical, and any disruption in glutamine levels has dire consequences. It has been shown that during pregnancy, a diet high in MSG increases the developing baby's glutamine levels to dose twice as high as the mother's. This can significantly alter how the baby's brain forms and functions. Very high MSG intake of any excitotoxin can cause abnormal learning, addiction risk, and behavioral, emotional control, and endocrine problems later in the baby's life. We now know, for instance, that glutamate is the main control neurotransmitter for the hypothalamus. This section of the brain controls most of your hormones, eating behavior, temperature control, pain regulation, and sleep habits, as well as the autonomic control of your heart, GI tract, lungs, and bladder. When animals are fed MSG early in life, they develop severe abnormalities, which include a short stature, small endocrine organs, and a high risk of seizures and impaired learning. It's important to remember that a number of studies have found that the effects of MSG can occur cumulatively over a period of time with subsequent exposure. I hope this video has educated you and helped you better yourself in knowing how to avoid toxic exposure. Take care. God bless. Bye.